Hello, great. Karma from Kentucky Group. I'm Christina Houston here with my husband Dan, and we are the co-founders of Mind Tribes. And we wanted to just hop on and share with you guys about our upcoming Asana Deep Dive workshop weekend that we're presenting at the Loft, and introduce ourselves and answer some of our most frequently asked questions about the program. So we'll just jump right in.
Cool. Well, Asana Deep Dive is one of our core programs. It's a 3-day program. It starts on the Friday night that we're there, and it's workshop based. So we do a workshop on Friday night, 2 on Saturday, and then on Sunday we pull it all together and we do a community class, a master class that's 2 hours long, and you get to really put to work the tools that you gain throughout the workshops and our work with us. And you also get to invite your friends and your family, maybe those who didn't participate in the program. And we really stand for everyone doing the entire program. If your schedule doesn't permit, you can join individual workshops and then make it out to the Sunday class as well.
Yeah. So what inspired this program was we lead a lot of teacher trainings and coaching and development programs, and what really inspired this was people had so many questions about what does our training look like, and we've really integrated our own unique methodology from our backgrounds, and people had a lot of questions about how we teach and the types of tools that we use. And so Asana Deep Dive is a glimpse into that, right? It's a combination of mostly Asana with some really incredible like language tools and coaching tools that we implement. And it gives you a sneak peek into how we operate, how we teach, and the distinctions that we use in all of our programs. So like Dan mentioned, through the program, the workshops can be attended individually, and they do build on one another. So if you're able to attend the whole weekend, you'll really get the most value out of what we're offering, because what we talk about on Friday will be implemented into Saturday, into Sunday, etc. So if you can't, no worries, and just know that if you do sign up for the whole weekend, it's going to be a deep dive, hence the name of the program. So that's the gist of the program. Some of the questions are, what are each of the workshops about, which we can talk about. What is our methodology, which we can totally share about. And who is this program for? So maybe those are the top 3 things we can talk about. So the methodology, we come from distinct and blended backgrounds of yoga trainings, and our methodology is a blend of vinyasa and very much influenced by forest yoga, and a type of practice informed by something called reciprocal inhibition, which is a very anatomy-focused conversation that has to do with fascia instead of bones and muscles. So that's kind of the asana anatomical perspective of where we come from in our method. Anything else you want to say about that?
Yeah, just in terms of the content, this is just a little more on what Christina is saying, is that the primary lenses that we look through are the development of bone structures and the use. So on Friday night, we talk about the foundations of the practice, being the way we set up the bone structures to build a foundation from which then to access what Christina is talking about, which is the soft tissues, the myofascia. Sometimes the practice gets described in the way of what muscles do I engage? Well, we look at what tissues do I access and create mobility in to take pressure off of joints. And then in order to be able to do that, as a byproduct, what you get is an energetic opening in space. So those are kind of the 2 things. And obviously, if you want to say, well, what's our access to that? You could say it's knowing the anatomical structures of the body and how they work, and how then, and I know I'm kind of diving into the second piece of what Christina mentioned, and it doesn't matter whether you're a practitioner and or a teacher. So if your starting point is all of us are in this practice together, is you get to look at your own practice. And then if you are a teacher, or you're an aspiring teacher, then you can say, let me look over there and see what areas that I can make a difference in another person's practice. So it gives you those tools for looking and listening.
Yeah, the biggest feedback we get about this weekend series of workshops is how distinctly and quickly people can apply the tools into their own practice and into their teaching without needing to do, a really long training. It's in the language, it's in just knowing really simple anatomy from a different lens. So yeah. So the workshops themselves, like Dan mentioned, Friday night is Foundations of a Mindful Practice. So kind of stripping away everything you know and getting back to foundations from this new context, this new lens of bones and energy and moving those things in tandem. Saturday morning is looking at our two biggest joints, the pelvis, right, the hips and the shoulders, and how to safely integrate these tools to deepen your practice and or rehab an injury or something that you've been working with, a tightness perhaps. And then Saturday afternoon, we get into the core, both physically and energetically. So we talk about third and fourth chakra. We look at living life from our center, like how to express outward from what's most important. And we dive into, from the Forest Yoga lens, the physical core. So in Forest Yoga, core is very much a strong practice. So we look at the deep layers of the core and how to play with that in your practice with some floating and getting upside down. And then Sunday is our big 2-hour class. So we bring all this together. It's our favorite class to teach. And it's really so much fun. So, and I think we kind of answered the question of who's this for. It's anyone. You can be brand new to yoga. You can have been practicing for 15 years. You can be a teacher anywhere on that spectrum. Our commitment is that no matter what your listening is, you get something powerful for yourself out of this program. And we get something out of it every time. And we just love the questions that are brought forward based on where you are in your experience. So those of you who are teachers, this does count as 5 hours of continuing ed, which is easy and awesome and quick. So I think for you guys, Kay was offering some form of discount on the full weekend. I believe it was 30%. Don't quote me on that. But as graduates, you are receiving a discount to participate. And even so, the whole weekend, if you do all 4 workshops, it's only $150. So it's a steal for some really high quality content to dive in and play and have, a ton of fun inside of this community. So we personally invite you. We can't wait to meet you. Feel free to post any comments or questions you have on this post. We're going to put this link in Facebook and just post any comments you might have and we'll get back to you. So we're arriving on Halloween Day. We'll see you guys at the Loft on Friday the 2nd for the first workshop, and send your questions our way.
So yeah, before we conclude, I just want to say, this is something Christina spoke to already, is the way I'll describe it is to say, find yourself in the listening of what's possible for what we're offering. And what I mean by that is you might have just been a person who wrapped up a teacher training and you're wondering, okay, now what? Or how do I pull together all of these tools that I've gotten from my training in a way that I can really deliver a class or whatever it is you're up to. Could be also that you're a teacher out there that you're looking for something that is new or fresh or just a different perspective. And I can guarantee you that you've likely never seen anything the way that we present it.
Yeah.
And then you could also be just a person who goes like, I want to just look at my practice. I'm not a teacher. I don't want to be a teacher. And you're interested in continually growing and developing in yourself and in your own movement practice. So my ask, in addition to Christina's invitation, is just find yourself in that listening. And we would love to meet you and really step into your tribe and become one bigger tribe with you. So I just want to say thank you to you. Hope to meet you. And thank you to Kay for making all this really possible.
Yeah. All right. So check in with Kay to register. And we can't wait to see you guys in less than a couple weeks.
See you soon, guys.
Okay. Bye.